Alright. Alright. So here's what I'm gonna do with this one. I just want a record of some of the fucked up shit I think, especially when I'm tired and like super volatile. And so just keep in mind, I'm gonna preface this by saying that all of the following shit that I say, I realize that it is based on previous ideas that I've had that I realize kind of seem to come back up when I'm very, very tired and I just don't have the energy to suppress them. Because this is a lot of shit that I've like thought about and ruminated upon, and I've just like been kind of trapped in my own head thinking about this for the longest time, especially when I was younger. And don't really think about it anymore again when I'm like feeling good and I'm rested and I'm like, I have the energy to regulate myself better. I don't tend to think this stuff. Like, in fact, it's almost like a form of DID, where it's like dissociative identity disorder, where it's like completely different personalities. Like, I'm totally one person when I'm like feeling good, and I'm feeling like connected to others when I'm feeling um, like actually like happy and good and confident and just not tired of shit. Right now, it's like can't do shit, can't think right. And anyway, so again, just saying that all of this stuff, or at least a lot of the stuff that I'm going to say in this video, is probably not stuff that I genuinely believe or think. It's going to be just me getting out a bunch of bullshit thoughts that I'm well aware of bullshit, and or like asshole thoughts, and yeah. So one of the things, so I went to the gym, and I'm just looking around, and so two things. I remember being at the leg lift machine, and seeing some girl walk in with her boyfriend or something, and I'm just like, ugh, disgusting. Like, why the fuck are you bringing your boyfriend to the gym? Like, if you're gonna come, just like at least come separately. I don't want to fucking see you. Like, I want to be able to have motivation when I'm working out. Like, if I see you with a boyfriend or something like that, I'm like, just fucking kills the motivation. I mean, granted, I have been able to like I've gone to bars and like places before, fucking Riot House, Boondocks, places that I've literally just like started talking to some guy's girl and then ended up taking her home. Or one time, like she actually ended up coming home with me because like the guy got drunk and ended up he was like passing out, and then so he ended up taking Uber home and she came back home with me. And then the other one, she ended up leaving with the guy, but then texted me and then I'm coming back over to my place later. So there's that. And so I'm like, can I like just snatch some dude's girl straight from him? Sure, but I'm tired and I didn't really feel like dealing with that right now. Like, I don't have any loyalty to men. I don't give a fuck if you're dating someone. I don't care if you're married, anything like that. I really don't give a shit. If I see a girl that I want to fuck, I'm gonna fuck the shit out of her, and I'm gonna have no regrets about it. And yeah, so then there's this other girl that I see with this big fat fucking dude, and the girl's fucking hot. And I'm just like, why the fuck are you with this fucking guy? And I'm just like, I feel like if this were like caveman times and there wasn't any like law and order or any like, you know, potential for like jail time. And like I said, I definitely agree that any violent crime like that should, yeah, you get prison time for that. Like, we don't do that. Like, so that's something that I genuinely believe. Like, no prison time, or no violent crimes. Like, we don't hurt people. We don't do anything like that. Think about it all the fucking time, but I don't actually do it. It's the difference between thinking about it and doing it. But anyway, so I was like, if this were caveman times, like if we were like a couple Neanderthals, like I would literally just slit his fucking throat, or like take my bat and just club him to fucking death and be like, all right, well, can't do anything with him now. He's dead. Let's go. And yeah, no, it's fucked up, huh? But like part of me wishes like, damn, like that would be so convenient. Again, I'm like, I really have no investment in dudes. Like, I feel like they just kind of get in the way. Like, just an annoyance to me. Like I have guy friends and stuff like that. And, like nobody I know personally watches these videos, and if they do one day, then it's gonna be so far in the future. I'm like it's not gonna really fucking matter anyway. Plus, I'm tired. Like I said, I preface this with saying that I'm tired of the shit. But yeah, I noticed that when I'm tired, I get very, very violent thoughts, and thought of just peeling the flesh straight off of like some guy's bones. It just sounds so fucking appealing. It's just like I just play that in my head. And just like I imagine like say that dude that was with that girl at the gym. I just imagine just basically scalping him and then just slowly peeling the skin just all the way down to his toes and everything like that and just hearing him scream in agony. And it's like, damn, like I just gave me like goosebumps. It gave me like it just made gave me such a warm like rush of like you know that feeling when you experience just euphoria? I was just imagining like doing that and I felt like it would feel really fucking good. But I'm not trying to deal with a bunch of bullshit consequences, so yeah, I don't do that. We don't do shit like that. And plus it's against our protocol. We don't do it that as well. That's a big thing. I don't really care about human laws and rules and shit like that. I don't really care about humans in general, except for a very select few. I've made lists of them before too. Like if you're on my good list, cool. Everybody else, I don't give a fuck. Like I'm never gonna actively go out of my way to hurt anybody, but at the same time, if somebody was in trouble, I probably wouldn't go out of my way to save them either. Sometimes I wish I could be like Thanos with the Infinity Stones. I just like snap my fingers and like he want to go for half of life. I feel like that's rookie numbers, dude. Say you can step up your game, man. Let's go for at least like 99%. What was it, the bubonic plague or some sort of plague like wiped out like a third of the world population? I mean, granted, the world population was a lot less back then, but sounds like a nice thought. Again, this is only when I'm tired. When I'm like thinking normally, I don't think this way. I think I just regressed to the way I used to think when I was like early 20s, and I used to just think about this shit constantly, which is exactly why, like, again, it sounds fucked up, but when people think about just like, get super mad at people and feel like it's them against the world, and they somehow manage to get a hold of a gun, and then they just start blasting. They go on like a mass shooting spree and just start killing as many people as they could possibly get. I'm like, honestly, it's weird. Like, I get that feeling. I get the like desire to do that, but at the same time, like it's stupid as fuck. Like, obviously, don't fucking do that. It's dumb as shit. It's like looking through the world through a narrow scope and not realizing all the other things you can do. So like realistically, like take out a few people and like they're just gonna end up coming back. Like how many people are born every single day? Like you take out like 5, 10, 100, 1,000 people within like a month or so, like not even that, like it's all gonna be back like that. So really, did you do anything? No. Thought before. Like let's say like Hitler killed 6 million people during the Holocaust. And then Stalin, like he was even worse, but we don't really talk about that because in history book, because technically he was on our side, sort of, until the Cold War. But it helped us fight the Nazis, so they kind of just swept that under the rug. The fact that he killed, what was it, 50 to 60 million people? So that dude was, but no, people like to talk about Hitler more because, you know, more the ideology they're against, stuff like that. And oh yeah, and then the other girl that I saw at the gym too. Like there's a like the redhead girl. She's really cute, like cute face, like really nice fucking ass. and just big old fucking bubble butt there. Just wanted to fucking just just fucking speak French between her legs and shit. Um, I just want to drown in that fucking pussy. But yeah, she ended up coming to talk to me and stuff. But like I said, I think in the last video, dude, when I'm not in the fucking mood. I'm really not in the fucking mood, man. I was just like she came up to me, is like, hey, nice to see you again. I'm just like, yeah, you too. And then I was just like ended up just doing my set, and then I could see her standing there, like, and I was I was just like real quick. So like, what are you working on? I don't even know like what said exactly. I was just like, so what are you doing, or what are you working on? She's like, oh, I'm doing like trying to do some squats, or like trying to do was it traps and core. She say not glutes, but like whatever the other one is. Um, yeah, I don't fucking remember. But I was just like sitting there, like, dude, I want to talk to you, but like not right now. And like, I don't. Great. I mean, it went all right. It was fine. I was just like really tired and just like I told her that. I literally said that like sorry, I'm just like I'm beat right now. And so I was just like I remember kind of said something, kind of went back and forth for maybe a minute or two, and then ended up being like, all right, you have a good workout. And then ended up just like going to the restroom or something. And I was just like sat there for a second. I was like, oh, I'm like, dude, I'm tired for the too tired for the shit. And ended up coming back out. Saw her a couple more times, just kind of like smiled at her, like hey, it's like real quick, just nothing like too special. I'm just acknowledging her. And God, I need to get used to waking up more early. Get used to going to sleep at a certain time and actually sleeping. Because dude, I hate when I'm like this, man. This is not like normal me. But you know what? This is probably a blessing in disguise because I actually did want to take advantage of it. Just being able to keep a record of certain thoughts that I've had. Again, I do want to like specify that these are a lot of thoughts that I had when I was like maybe I don't know. What was it? Like I never really had these like really shitty thoughts about like whereas like just thinking about different ways of like just torturing people. And like not like killing them or anything like that. Don't want to do that. It was more like because like if you kill them, then like they don't feel anything after that. Like I wanted to basically take them and torture them as much as humanly possible, so that way they can experience as much pain and misery and suffering as like humanly possible. But I didn't want them to die. I wanted them to genuinely feel it. I wanted them to feel it for as long as possible and as much as possible, just so I feel like they could understand the suffering and pain that I felt like I was going through. Again, this is really fucked up and not a way I think anymore. This is years ago, man. This is just shit that I'm like kind of I feel like because I'm like tired and irritable, it's kind of a similar feeling to what I was feeling before. And so the thoughts from before are kind of like, this feeling's reminding me of that feeling and those thoughts. So like I'm over here, like realistically, but this feeling of being tired and irritable and just exhausted and just fucking done. This is reminding me of this feeling of being irritable and exhausted, fucking done. But that was also that gave rise to all these thoughts, and that was caused by a bunch of other things. And that's like back here. So that's in the past. That's like back there. It's in the past where it belongs. But I am recording that now just because I don't think I've ever like actually held on to these ideas or anything like that. And at the time, dude, I was all for it. Obviously now, like I realize it's dumb as shit. Like, like it's not healthy to think that way. Obviously nobody ever wants to do that because like focus on the bigger picture, the bigger goals, and shit like that is dumb as fuck, dude. Like I'm well aware that these thoughts are dumb as shit. Like I've already prefaced this video, but at the same time, I just want to just reiterate. So otherwise, like less of a likelihood of people taking it out of context. But So people are just a little bit more understanding the fact that, yeah, I've definitely changed since then. And like, obviously, I don't think that way anymore, but be able to take advantage of being tired and irritable and basically reflect on how I used to think that I don't think I've ever actually reported it. And so, yeah, just to specify, this is thoughts that I've had years and years ago, like literally a decade ago. I think on the last video I was talking about like Malia, Alyssa, and Lindsay and other, I don't think I brought up Lindsay, but just relationships I like had that I don't know, I wasn't really like social as a kid. I don't know. I had this like weird phase when I was like 12 or 13. I still to this day can't explain what the hell happened. I don't know if I was hit by like fucking cosmic rays or some bullshit, but something in me just fucking snapped out of nowhere because I was a kid, then going up to like 12 years old, totally fine, had friends, like getting along with people just fine. Then all of a sudden, like I just ended up like acting weird as fuck, like just I don't know if it was like OCD in the sense that you're just like repeating things until you get it right, or like because I'll literally just say things over and over and over again, like say the same sentence or say the same words like over and over and over again until I felt like I got it absolutely perfect. Like I remember being at my brother's house in Tucson where I was sitting in the bathroom and I was just like taking a shower and then I got out and like I was wiping my face with a towel and I didn't feel like I was wiping my face just right, so I kept on doing it until I came out of the bathroom and my brother saw my face all bloody and like just scratched up because I just kept on like rubbing my face harder and harder and harder until I was like I felt like it was just right. Like I said, weird fucking shit. I don't know where the fuck it came from. I don't know what the fuck happened. Just hit me out of the blue. And it took me a while, I feel like, to recover from that. So maybe like a couple years later, that's when I was like, I kind of stopped doing that as much. And ended up trying to like, get back into friendships and stuff like that. And I just felt like off. And even after that, just I always felt like who I really was somebody definitely worth of recognition, attention. I felt like I was like one of the more popular ones, and I was like, I felt like I was up there, and I maybe had like that perfectionist mentality where if I didn't see somebody else agree with that, then I got very angry at them, and I was wondering like, how could you be so fucking stupid or some shit like that, and not a good way of thinking. Like I said, you can have the greatest product, but if you don't know how to market it, it ain't worth it for shit. So, God, there's so many things I wish I knew back then. Um, anyway, some of the worst thoughts I've ever had, like in my lifetime. And, I was thinking about a lot of this stuff at the gym, and then work it out to like get it out of my system. But I think it just made me feel angry. And I was mostly thinking about this on my way walking back to from the gym, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I should like record this just to like vent it out, get it out. That's why I keep like it keeps on coming back or something like that because I don't feel like I've ever had closure, like got it out, or especially with I don't know. Alyssa didn't really care as much about like yeah, I feel bad that I treated her bad and kind of strung her along for so long. Like she developed feelings for me and I just never really gave a shit. And I felt like I started to get more invested like towards the end, but by then she realized that like she probably realized by then that like I didn't really care about her and I never really would. Not to the extent that I like cared about Malia, but in retrospect, yeah, Malia didn't deserve that shit either. She sucked. She was she was hot, but at the same time, like personality wise, there wasn't really anything to her. Like when I look back on it, like she didn't have much of a personality. She didn't really do anything. Like she worked, went to school. Like she didn't really have any special talents. Like didn't have any particular interests. Like she just kind of followed along and did whatever everybody else did. so it wasn't really anything special about her. So I think I was just like kind of caught up in the fact that like this really hot girl was like down to chill and like down to fucking come over and do shit, you know? So I think that was just like, damn, like she was like the hottest girl I knew at the time. So like I've met so much hotter girls since then. So I'm like, that's why I'm like, I don't give a fuck about her anymore. Like I really don't. I've slept with so many fucking girls that are way hotter than her since her. And so the only reason I still bring her back up is because like she was like one of the first ones that really like set me on a course of like drinking and everything like that. Like that's kind of like again, I don't blame her. That was my own choice, my own dumbass idea of how to solve that issue, how to try to feel better, just numb the pain and shit like that. Horrible fucking idea. I wouldn't recommend it. Don't do that. It's stupid. Hindsight's 2020, and I wish I could go back and slap the fuck out of myself for doing that. I wish I could just grab myself by the neck and be like, "Hey, you see this chick? Like, see this girl Malia? Like, bro, she ain't worth shit. Like, you're gonna realize one day that, dude, like it's fucking laughable how much like I cared about her. Stupid as shit. What a waste of fucking time. Yeah, I can honestly say that I didn't like her for her personality. I just liked her for the fact that she was hot and that she was there. 100% facts, dude. Like for sure. Like that's literally all it was. Just the fact that she had a pussy, that she was hot, and that she was present. Um, yeah, I can't think of a single other thing that she had really going for her. Like she had good looks, but I mean, she definitely wasn't loyal. Like she was dating, was it Alex or and then Scotty and then whatever, and then still hanging out with me. So I mean, if she was gonna do that to me too. So she was like, again, like younger, still exploring and stuff like that. And even nowadays, I don't even care. I advocate for more for polyamory anyway. I'm like, I think monogamy is bullshit, and that's. I mean, I know it's a social construct. It's something that mankind developed over time in society. But realistically, it's not the way we're wired. If it weren't for like the church and people changing and creating those artificial constructs over time, then we'd be, you know, more normal, like resorting to polygamous or polyamorous relationships where you got a guy with like multiple women, and then some of those women stay in your little bubble, and they don't really venture out. That's cool. And they have those certain benefits, but then you got others who have their own benefits, where they go out and shit like that and explore, and they can go fuck whoever. I don't give a shit. But at the same time, you're less invested in them. You give them less resources. You don't let them exploit you, but you also get information from them. So they do a little bit more recon since they're going out more extroverted and stuff like that. Like, yeah, are they gonna go out and maybe like talk to other dudes or fuck them and shit like that? That's fine. I don't like fucking give a shit. Like useful in the sense that they can come back and give you like information, stories, and I don't know, you can glean stuff from them. You can probably learn something from them, and they they can play their part in us to a certain extent. Like you don't keep them around that often, but if they show up like once a month, it's like, all right, whatever. That's cool. Like what happened? Obviously, I'll be nicer. Like, hey, how you been? I missed you. Like, oh, that's what you been up to? Or God damn, I can't think for shit. See what's going on. Blah 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 blah. Just say a bunch of shit that they want to hear, and like I don't know. Like you don't really have to have as much investment. Like it's kind of like when like a soldier goes to war or something like that and comes back. Like goddamn, they're amazing fucks, but at the same time, time Just hit them up every once in a while. Just know whenever you feel like getting your dick wet, and just whip it out, plug it in, wham bam shang lang, send her ass back and be like, all right, go on some more adventures. Come back in a month or two. Hang out with your main girls, girls that like, you know, like your harem, like the more committed. But again, you still want to have a variety. Like if you have just one person, that's only going to be like one set of information. You want multiple sets of information. Variety is the spice of life, and you want to be able to glean different information from different people, get different perspectives, get you can accumulate more resources. You can you know, you got more people supporting each other, looking out for each other, and I've tried sleeping. I tried sleeping. I laid down for like 5 minutes, and I'm just like, dude, this isn't fucking happening. Like, it's weird because I'm so fucking tired. Like, I could even close my eyes, but like, my body will not fall asleep. Sit here all day and like meditate or something like that, but it's gonna be like this until eventually. Like, I can tell, like, there's a difference between feeling tired like this and feeling like there's a certain feeling where I feel like flushed, like just a whole entire like wave comes over me, like when I'm tired and ready to go to sleep. That's a different feeling. Like I notice it. There's a clear delineation between those feelings. Feeling sleepy, but not like going to sleep, you know? Sleepy but awake. Wondering if going to the gym might help. I thought that going for a run last night, fucking almost 8 miles, 6.7 full miles, 110 degrees. I thought for sure that would help. Shit. I feel like Brittany, she had a boyfriend. Just realizing that too. Off the top of my head, well, one, I can't even think of her name. I think she said she had a boyfriend, at least at first. And then, like, that didn't really fucking matter. I just kept on talking to her anyway, and then ended up fucking splitting that bitch in half. Um, reined in. Um, oh, oh yeah, the girl Brittany. She definitely had a boyfriend, or I mean, like, made it seem like it. Well, 'cause she was getting texts from this dude, and then had like pictures of this dude on her phone and everything. Was like showing me. But I think she was like saving like Snapchats and shit like that. That was like inventory. So like, just in case like one day like she wanted to use it against them, she could show them that like, yeah, she's been like fucking other dudes the whole time or whatever. And so like she took a video of me just like she was laying down on her stomach in my bed, and I was just playing with her ass, like beating it like a drum, and then just like fucking told her to like pull her legs up like that, like arched her back a little bit and just went down on her. Just fucking licking that shit up. And she was taking a video the whole time. I didn't even notice until like I looked up, and then she started laughing. She's the same girl that literally made me come like so fucking quick after she said, I want you to look me in the eyes when you fuck me. And I was like, holy shit, like, god damn, it's fucking hot. Oh, do something else. I feel like that's all I can think about right now. Again, sorry if those thoughts are fucked up. Again, I don't think that shit anymore. I'm just trying to take advantage of being tired and irritable to help me kind of remember old thoughts that I used to have that I just never really recorded or talked about. but trying to get everything out in the open, just kind of like sequential. So this is probably stuff that was, I don't know, I was 12 and 13 when the crazy shit happened. And then 18, 19, I really started the balls to the wall for like this, the violent thoughts. And then let's say 21, 22 is when the drinking really picked up to try to suppress all that. One, to suppress the trauma from everything else, other relationships, and then also to, well, just to forget about it, and then also to suppress these like just dangerous fucking fucked up thoughts that I knew I was having. I was like, I gotta fucking change, and so I just try to just bombard my brain as much as possible. It's like, dude, I just gotta fucking like do a fucking what do you call it? The blitz, the what's it called, blitzkrieg. Just keep on taking shot after shot after shot after shot, bottle after bottle after bottle. I was at a point where I had fucking 3 bottles of vodka, like the big ass handles of vodka too, and I'd finish that shit in a day. I was making a habit out of it. And again, I'm gonna clearly reiterate the fact that I do not recommend that. You get up to some crazy fucking shit and end up having even crazier ideas. Luckily, a lot of times I'd end up just passing the fuck out. Wake up, drank, black out, drank, pass out, drank. Swimming pools. But yeah, that's pretty much the lifestyle right there. And then I got older and I realized that that's not sustainable. And I was like, you know what? I could live this miserable shit forever, or it could change and maybe start making some improvements. And so that's what I started doing. So I'd say maybe about 25, 26 is when I like kind of started trying a little bit. And then 28 and 29 is when I really started like, trying, like realizing like, I really need to pick this shit up because I don't want to spend my whole entire life just thinking about the past and just trying to forget about the past and not really doing anything about the future. And so it's like, at the same time, I've been working on like say, well, this stuff for years, and I've kind of the whole lesson stuff. I've been working on that since let's say 2012, 2013, which is I think when I first met Malia, that's why I thought like she was the one that I wanted to like build all this with. Like I basically had all these like dreams and like visions of like what we'd be doing together and everything like that. Like started planning shit out. And she was on her own fucking page. And again, like she would have been a horrible fucking choice anyway. Like she sucked. And so like she had nothing going for her. So like she would have been a horrible person to do that stuff with. Like she wouldn't have had anything to offer. Like say someone like Nina, met her years later, like I think it was what 2022, 2023 or something like that. Nina is someone who had like personality. She was just like smart as hell, like good head on her shoulders. She was really nice, like had a good sense of humor, like up, like top to bottom, left, right, front, back, all around. Everything about her was just on point. And so like even in retrospect, like I think she's like managing over at Global Ambassador now or something last I checked. So she's doing good for herself. I feel like we'd make a good team though. But again, I was kind of talking to her a lot when I was kind of drinking, and so I said a lot of stupid shit. So that was kind of blew that by just being stupid. It's a very good reason why I have my 3 rules to life. Don't be an asshole, don't be a dumbass, and don't be a pussy. Don't be a pussy, take initiative. You see an opportunity, seize it. Don't be a dumbass and just, don't be stupid. Gather more information. Don't resort to being impulsive or overly emotional. And don't be an asshole. Like 1, don't hurt people. That's a big one. And then 2, just treat people as human beings. Like don't treat them unfairly because a lot of times like they don't have anything to do. Like especially if you're in a bad mood, Like other people don't know anything about that. They don't know why you're in a bad mood. They didn't cause it. Like I generalized before just because it's easier and more efficient, but like obviously it's like when I say people or humans or anything like that, I don't mean like everybody. I just feel like it's easier to say just because like I don't know, it's just also said plenty of times like so realistically like the big thing for me is like when it comes to people, when it comes to humanity, like we have a very strict rule that we don't hurt people. Definitely don't kill, stuff like that. And that's because we want to ensure that information is preserved, that life is preserved, and that we're doing the right things, that we have opportunities instead of limiting potential outcomes and opportunities because of impulsive and reckless decisions. So we are genuinely looking out for people. Keep that in mind no matter what. Oh, over there. That's all I got. We can go over there and move. 36. We're gonna go for like an hour on here, then maybe do like a Bible study in a little bit. Just need a dating or something like that. But yeah, appreciate you listening to that crap. Again, I do realize it's crap. I do realize that it's stupid as fuck to obviously have those thoughts, but they're not like current thoughts I have. But like I said, like just to reiterate yet again, I just want to make sure it's perfectly clear that this is stuff that I used to think years ago, and I'm just like kind of like in the same mood. And so that same mood is reminding me of a lot of old ideas that I had. And so it's being able to take advantage of that to be able to kind of remember and to kind of like just get in the mood of talking about it and stuff. But yeah, obviously it's all bad. Well aware of that. And so I don't know, maybe able to help like certain people if they feel like they're going through like shitty times and stuff like that. It's like, dude, like fucking been there, done that, man. Like you're not alone. Like other people have been there, done that. Like some people's experience is even worse. And so like it sucks. And I completely understand how you could get to a certain point where it's like, damn, you just want to start taking motherfuckers out. I get it. Sounds appealing sometimes when you start thinking about it, but once those thoughts turn into words, that becomes dangerous because those words can actually turn into actions. And so the turning those thoughts into actions is really the part that we want to prevent. We got to nip that shit in the bud and not do that. So don't do that. Yeah. Many people besides you have been there. It's just people don't really talk about it a lot because they're well aware that it's shitty and it's not a good way to go. And there's so much more potential that you have, man or woman, wherever you might be, whatever you might be doing, wherever you might be from, or whatever you are, or whatever your background, or everything like that. I understand how you can get to a certain point and just feel like it's you against the world, and you just start to develop this resentment, this hatred, and this animosity towards other people, and it's not easy. It's not easy to cope with or deal with, and it's not easy to emerge out of, but it is possible. So there's hope. Hope is what keeps us fighting to win the war, despite how many battles we've lost. So the war rages on. You might lose a couple battles. You might lose a few people. And along the way, you're going to endure loss. You're going to endure pain. You're going to endure struggle. Pay attention to it. Learn from it. Don't try to suppress information. Don't try to forget about things. Like one, it's not going to happen. But two, like you can use that as experiences to learn of what to avoid, not to want to repeat, and to like realize what's bad, And then also to realize like what's good, to be able to realize the things that you do want more of, that you want to put more of in the world, the things that you want to replicate, multiply, produce more of, share more of, speak more of, think more of. And so it's kind of like that magic ratio again, just like 5 to 1, like 5 positive things to 1 negative thing. Just keep on doing your absolute best to find as much of the positive, remember as much of the positive, but also create things that are positive that you perceive as genuinely positive, that doesn't come at the expense of others, but things that are kind of service, and you feel more connected and invested in other people. And that's when you start to genuinely feel more motivated too. Like that, if you want motivation, like feeling connected to others, like it's kind of a golden key to that, because like it's just how the brain's wired, man. It's not something we can help. It's just the way this thing up here, it's the way it works. We all have one, we all come with it, and it's just the way it fucking is, man. And so take advantage of it. Realize, let's say, study psychology, study even neuroscience and stuff like that. You'll be able to listen to like articles or podcasts and stuff like that with like neuroscientists, and stuff like the Huberman Lab's pretty good, or Dr. Rhonda Fitzpatrick, people like that who are like well experienced, well versed in this, have a lot of practice working with people and just having conversations with people to glean information and hear different perspectives. Like they're very good at communicating and conveying ideas, just because they had a lot of practice at it too. So they do have a lot of information from like reading and practicing and getting experience and stuff. But at the same time, like they have that because they've practiced it for so long. They've had that repetition. They've had all these conversations, all these interactions, stuff like that. And until you start to do that, you're not going to be able to be as well rounded. You're not going to be able to even have an identity really for yourself, because whatever identity you develop is going to be kind of just you ruminating on your own little, like tiny little bubble of thoughts. And that's not going to be healthy, because the world's going to keep on changing with or without you, and you're going to fall behind. And so investing in other people, just being connected, saying what's up, like saying hi, or asking somebody, say, hey, you good? Like, what's going on? Like, how can I help you? Or just reaching out some way, and like you'll get better at it as you go. I'm like literally living, breathing proof of it. Like, and so again, exactly why I do these videos, so I can show you a clear difference of how I was compared to who I'm becoming and what I want to be. So taking the former self and the actual self and modifying it so that we can reach the ideal self. And also being practical too, not being discouraged just because like you're like there's a gap, but realizing the gap needs to be closed and using that as a positive way of thinking, realizing that there's an opportunity for all these things to still do. So all right, let's go over there. Boy, swords. Experience the effects of the year. All the action. Fun.
What now?
Like, dude, put a fucking shirt on. It's because I'm super straight. Don't saying it's especially not good for fun. It's like the. I see myself with the shirt off. So it's gross. There you go.
This summer at More Furniture, shop new items from $3.99. Refresh your room with a one-foot panel bed. Relax on the Pova sofa and gather around the stable pressed dining set. Each price at $3.99. And for a limited time, when you buy a one immersive sound sofa, you'll get a recliner for free plus 60.
In March 2003, the US-led coalition of the willing invades Iraq, where President George Bush claims he must disarm Iraqi dictator Saddam Hussein of weapons of mass destruction and depose a brutal regime supporting global terror. Since the end of the Gulf War in 1991, a de facto military conflict has continued. US and allied jets enforce no-fly zones in northern and southern Iraq and attack Iraqi air defense, which regularly fires at their aircraft. The US military has thousands of troops in the region and a plan in case of war with Iraq, Operational Plan 1003. But OPLAN 1003 is defensive and involves far too many troops. US Defense Secretary Don Rumsfeld wants low troop deployment levels, reducing them even further in the post-conflict stages. Some military leaders, like Central Command's General Tommy Franks, disagree. The debates result in delays, lots of changes, and little time for post-conflict stabilization planning. The CENTCOM officer complains. Every friggin' request, they wanted to see the numbers. They wanted to know how many reservists. It delayed every move and sucked energy out of CENTCOM staff. It was ridiculous. There's only so much capacity a staff has, and this was bullshit. It sucked the energy out of long-term thinking. Meanwhile, the ongoing conflict in Afghanistan also saps American resources. The final plan only takes shape in early 2003. CENTCOM scraps an invasion of northern Iraq by Turkey when Ankara refuses. Instead, coalition troops will invade from Kuwait, bypass southern cities, and head for Baghdad. Speed, deception, and surprise are vital to dislocate larger Iraqi forces. Special forces will sow confusion, followed by simultaneous air and ground attack. British troops will occupy the Fog Peninsula and besiege Basra, Iraq's second city. 170,000 troops, the majority American, will invade as part of Operation Iraqi Freedom, though commanders keep back some support and logistical units to reduce troop numbers. Britain provides the second largest land contingent, while Australia provides air, naval, and special forces units. Poland also deploys 200 commandos. US commanders assume civilians will receive coalition troops as liberators, and that Saddam will use chemical weapons as they close on Baghdad. Meanwhile, Iraq has few defense plans. Saddam believes the US will likely only launch air attacks, as it had previously, or that last-minute cooperation with UN weapons inspectors searching for Iraqi WMDs will prevent an attack. If the US invades, he has faith in Iraq's arms. Not all of his commanders agree, like Mohammed Khalil Ahmed. Look, we knew as military men things would go badly for us. We knew the Americans would not be stopped in their march to Baghdad. All of them didn't come thousands of miles just to lose some stupid battle in the southern deserts. They were coming, and we knew what that would be for us after. Saddam positions most Iraqi forces to oppose historical threats from Iran and Kurdish separatists in northern Iraq. Iraq's best troops, the Republican Guard, are spread across Iraq to reduce the risk of an anti-Saddam coup, with only one division near the Kuwaiti border. By early 2003, Iraqi commanders formed some defense plans, including dispersing supplies to avoid air attack, and for the Fedayeen Saddam, an irregular volunteer unit controlled by the Ba'ath Party. The Fedayeen will fight beside the conventional army to join its militia in costly urban battles. Iraq has over 1 billion active and reserve military personnel, but CENTCOM identifies only 350,000 troops as combat efficient. Of Iraq's 4,000 Soviet-era tanks, only 2,000 are operational, and despite the recent Iran-Iraq war, there are few talented high-level commanders. I have to tell you, the Iraqi military was nothing. There were a lot of smart officers, even genius military commanders, but they were not in important posts. Those went to the high Ba'athist officials. So the army really had no one capable of even attempting to lead a fight against the most powerful and technologically advanced army in the world. On March 17, 2003, President Bush issues an ultimatum for Saddam and his sons to leave Iraq or face invasion. In reality, special forces units are already infiltrating from the Jordanian border. March 19th, US aircraft bombed Dora farms outside Baghdad, hoping to kill Saddam Hussein. Saddam is not there, but it's the first of 156 similar missions to kill key Iraqi figures. None succeed. On March 20th, as the world media watches, US cruise missiles and airstrikes hit communications and command targets in Iraq. At the border, coalition troops advance into southern Iraq, and morale is high. They stopped what they were doing and positively roared with delight. The air was electric. You could feel the excitement all around. There was shelling everywhere. The ground invasion, officially Operation Cobra II, has been brought forward by a day due to intelligence that Iraq plans to sabotage the Rumaila oil fields. This means only the US 3rd Infantry Division, really a heavy armored unit, and the 1st Marine Division are totally prepared for operations. Nonetheless, the US 5th Corps crosses into the Euphrates Valley, aiming for Tamil Airfield and objective Rams near Najaf. The 1st Marine Expeditionary Force, including the British 1st Armored Division, secured the Rumaila oil fields, which the Iraqis did not prep for sabotage, and the Fall Peninsula. In a combined US and Royal Marines operation, coalition forces advance into Iraq's only port of Qasem, supported by Australian ships and Polish commandos. In northern Iraq, special forces cooperate with Kurdish Peshmerga militias, while in the west, they conduct raids to give the impression a second force is coming from Jordan. Iraqi resistance is light, partly because coalition troops avoid urban areas. As a result, Baghdad reports that Iraqi forces are repelling coalition troops entering towns. In reality, coalition troops advance rapidly, and logistical issues are more of a hindrance than Iraqi opposition. However, some coalition troops in the Euphrates Valley do report resistance from irregular, non-uniformed fighters, often using swarm tactics.
It's certainly more ferocious than the first Gulf War. For GW2, it appears that they may have some desire to fight, but very quickly they realize what part of the war machine we have. Straightforward.
Marines Bing West and Ray Smith report. The Iraqis weren't lacking in courage or individual armament. They were lacking in teamwork, leadership, tactics, and marksmanship. Their occasional successes depended on the law of averages. One such Iraqi success comes on March 23rd. 18 trucks and Humvees from the 507th Maintenance Company accidentally enter the Iraqi-held town of Nasiriyah. After realizing the mistake, they come under ambush. Iraqi fighters kill 11 of the 33 US troops in the poorly protected convoy and capture 7 more. Shortly afterwards, 3 companies of the 2nd Marine Expeditionary Brigade, now called Task Force Tarawa, arrive on Nasiriyah's outskirts to find survivors and secure the bridges across the Euphrates and Saddam Canal. But tanks supporting Company B unexpectedly leave for refueling, leading the Marines to advance under heavy fire. While attempting to flank Iraqi positions, Company B becomes bogged down in swampy ground. Meanwhile, Company C heads towards the Saddam Canal. They assume Company B passed through the town and enter Nasiriyah themselves, where Iraqi troops and Fedayeen ambush them. Company C reaches the canal, but comes under mortar barrage and swarm-style attacks. In the confusion, half of Company C's vehicles withdraw without orders, but only one reaches US lines. Company C's commander recalls the chaos. So I'm thinking, holy shit, there goes half my fighting power over the bridge. I was angry. I mean, incredibly angry. But there was nothing I could do. I tried to get those guys on the net. Nobody's talking on the net. Nobody's listening. Gone. The only thing you could do was focus on the guys who had at hand. You could try to keep everybody focused on what's going on. US commanders sent air support, but the A-10 Warthogs are not equipped to spot Company C's thermal identification panels and attack Company C. Only after 2 Abrams tanks stormed down so-called ambush alley is Company C saved. But 18 Marines are killed, potentially 10 by friendly fire. The Battle of Nasiriyah is a shock for the US. Many US commanders genuinely expected Iraqi forces to defect en masse. CIA tries to contact Iraqi commanders by cell phone and email to get them to defect, but this has little impact. There's more bad news for the US on March 23rd, 24th. Apache helicopter gunships acting as flying tanks launch a deep raid against Iraqi positions around the Karbala Gap. US officers have high hopes for the tactic, but Iraqi fire damages 31 of 32 helicopters, with 1 shot down. The Apaches caused little damage. Although the coalition advance in the opening days is hugely successful in general, the setbacks at Nasiriyah and Karbala have strategic implications. Casualties combined with a sandstorm that hits on March 24th create concern that the invasion is bogging down. Meanwhile, Iraqi propaganda portrays its small successes as big victories, something the US worried about before the invasion even began.
Surrounding them, we are fighting them, they have started retreating. Casualties.
From 2002, the Pentagon develops a comprehensive media management strategy. They understand public support is essential in so-called wars of choice, and many US officers still believe the media lost the country the Vietnam War. One of the most controversial policies is embedding journalists in military units. Although common in previous conflicts, it became rarer as technology developed and the media-military relations soured. In 2003, the Pentagon claims embedding protects journalists from Islamist terrorists and Iraqi agents, a concern heightened by the 2002 murder of journalist Daniel Pearl in Pakistan. Some journalists argue the embedding really aims to control them and integrate them into military culture. By sharing security, embedded journalists may be more likely to identify with their military hosts, resulting in biased reporting. For example, British troops protect journalist Ben Brown from an Iraqi who was about to shoot him with a rocket-propelled grenade. I shook hands with the gunner who had saved me. I almost wanted to give him a high five and embrace him, as though he scored a goal. It was a natural reaction, I suppose, but later I was rather disgusted with my delight. Reporters are supposed to be observers of the battlefield, not participants. I wondered if, by being so close to the British troops, it had somehow crossed an invisible line. Others argue this motive is unproven or a secondary focus, and that the military's real intention is to dominate news media with exciting but superficial footage that would appeal to content-hungry 24/7 news channels. After March 20th, media storylines shift from US claims of Iraqi WMDs or terrorism links to firefights, military technology, or human interest stories. One of these is the dramatic rescue of Jessica Lynch, one of the captured 507th Maintenance Company soldiers. Critics claim media commentators, even those who previously questioned the war plans or justifications, now present war as entertainment. Other journalists claim CENTCOM deliberately gives little information in its briefings in Qatar to encourage networks to use embedded reports. General Frank's director of communications admits this is partly true. Qatar was never designed to be the font of all news. Font of all news was designed to be the front line and their embeds, and it worked out. We couldn't be happier.
East County farmer, we grow chili, our seeds are sold.
runs parallel to psychological operations aimed at Iraqis. U.S. aircraft dropped 32 million leaflets calling on Iraqi troops to give up. Few surrendered to coalition troops, but many simply went home. As one Iraqi commander notes, U.S. firepower reinforces the psychological campaign. The air attacks were the most effective message. Soldiers who did see the leaflets and then saw the air attacks knew the leaflets were true. I started the war with 13,000 soldiers. By the time we were in position in Baghdad, less than 1,000. One Iraqi soldier explains the dilemma many soldiers in Saddam's Iraq face. I felt no urge to fight. Saddam Hussein never personally harmed me or my family, but I knew how he hurt so many other Iraqis. It was hard as a young person to see a future in the country. What's the point of fighting for that? And even if we did fight, even if we won and dried out the Americans, none of us who did the fighting would ever see any benefit from it. Anything good in the country just went to Saddam. The sandstorm and Iraqi resistance forced General Franks into an operational pause until March 29th to regroup. First Marine Division Commander General Jim Mattis opposes this, but others argue resistance in the Euphrates Valley is tougher than anticipated. The 101st and 82nd Airborne Divisions abandoned plans for attacking Baghdad to secure communications and contain Iraqi forces in Samarwa and Najaf. Still, Baghdad remains the focus, and coalition commanders plan an advance from the west via the Karbala Gap. Meanwhile, although some Iraqi commanders correctly identify this threat, defense planning remains dysfunctional. Many Ba'ath officials seem to believe exaggerated positive reports like this one. The latest attack by the Fedayeen and the heroic men of the party on the remnants of the enemy on the Az-Zubayr bridge fired up 2 tanks with their crews, and the enemy was routed to the rear. The routed force of the enemy is estimated to be more than 50 tanks. Saddam still believes the real attack will come from the Jordanian border. Second Republican Guard Corps Commander Lieutenant General Ra'ad al-Hamdani is outraged when commanders stripped troops designated for Karbala from his unit. It was the kind of arguments that I imagined took place in Hitler's bunker in Berlin. Were these men all on drugs? By now, Saddam's son Qusay handles most operational decisions, often via word of mouth, to prevent coalition forces identifying locations by radio traffic. He leaves Karbala's defense to the remnants of Hamdani's Medina and Nebuchadnezzar divisions. In early April, the US 5th Corps continues its drive through Karbala, launching feints in multiple directions to confuse Iraqi forces. The last major obstacle facing the US 3rd Infantry Division is the bridge at Musaid, Objective Peach. On April 2nd, under a heavy smoke screen, US forces attacked the bridge with Apache gunships, Bradley armored vehicles, and assault boats. Well-camouflaged Iraqi positions repel the Apaches, but although Iraqi artillery hits US tanks and Bradleys, it cannot penetrate their armor. The armored vehicles then clear the Iraqis at close range. Iraqi engineers blow up part of the bridge, but it's still passable. US forces now dig in for an expected Iraqi counterattack on the east bank. In the evening, Iraqis tried to drive 3 explosive-laden trucks onto the bridge despite Hamdani's opposition. US forces destroyed from range, killing up to 300 Iraqis for just 1 US fatality, which is from friendly fire. As US forces close on Baghdad, the British probe into Basra. Their tactics are more conservative than the Americans, partly due to higher British sensitivity to casualties because of lower public support for the war, and Basra's majority Shia population, which historically have opposed Saddam. British forces create a loose cordon around Basra and focus on gaining information on Iraqi morale and dispositions. Initially, US forces planned a similar approach for attacking Baghdad. They planned 5 forward operating bases around Baghdad to conduct raids into the city to locate Iraqi units and capture Baghdad in phases. By April 6th, US forces have secured the 3 most important bases: Objective Saints, Objective Lions, Baghdad's airport, and Objective Titans. Meanwhile, the Marine Expeditionary Force advances from the southeast towards Baghdad. After rapid success at Karbala, some U.S. commanders, like 3rd Infantry Division's General Buford Blunt, want to use more aggressive methods. His forces secure Baghdad Airport and request so-called thunder runs into the city. These are heavy armored urban raids to determine enemy strength, kill Iraqi troops, and demoralize defenders. 3rd Infantry Division already used this method in Najaf, but other commanders have considered intelligence on Baghdad's defense and logistical issues. Although Iraqi commanders plan a defense on paper, there are no coordinated plans. Saddam spends much of his day moving between safe houses in pro-government districts. He has little time for much else, as Saddam's presidential secretary tells a group of officers. My brothers, the president is tired of the way things are. Do not mention any problems. Concentrate on the positive. U.S. 5th Corps, including Wallace, allows Blunt to mount a thunder run under the guise of securing supply lines between objectives Saints and Lions. 2nd Brigade Combat Team Commander Colonel David Perkins assigns Task Force 164th Armor to the job, with 28 Abrams and 14 Bradley armored vehicles. Column immediately takes small arms fire, with intensity increasing as U.S. units advance. U.S. armor destroys Iraqi trucks, but the Thunder Run coincides with the morning commute, and civilians are caught in crossfire. Tank Platoon Sergeant Eric Olson later recalls. As I drove by the destroyed enemy truck, I saw the most horrible thing I've ever seen in my life. Behind the enemy truck was a blown-up civilian car that had a family in it. The father was twitching on the ground, with no skin on his body. Pretty sure he was dead. The mother was sitting on the ground, rocking back and forth. Her body was smoking, and in her arms, she cradled an infant. The other casualty, I believe, was a boy of 10 years old. He had no hair and very little skin left. The U.S. tanks plowed through the barricades into the safety of the airport, having lost 1 killed in action and 1 Abrams knocked out. They claimed to kill 2,000 Iraqi troops. The Iraqi government uses footage of the destroyed Abrams to suggest they defeated the Thunder Run, but the tank was actually destroyed by U.S. air power to prevent its capture.
We crushed the forces in Saddam International Airport, and we cleaned the whole place of the airport by our Republican Guard. Now the Republican Guard is in full control of Saddam International Airport. Those mercenaries now outside the airport in Abu Ghraib district, and they are surrounded, and we are pounding them by missiles and heavy artillery.
Frustrated, Perkins requests another Thunder Run, this time into the city center. Possible, U.S. forces would remain overnight, with infantry forces securing highway overpasses behind them, called Low, Larry, and Curry. Wallace is skeptical, only orders a similar raid to the first one. Perkins claims he never receives this order and instead turns his forces into central Baghdad on April 7th. Wallace recalls the moment. I'm watching the Blue Force tracker, and I see this column taking a right at Low and heading downtown. At that point, from my perspective, we were committed to doing what Perkins was doing. There was no choice other than to reinforce the success he was having. Perkins' armor makes it to Baghdad's presidential district, where large roads and parks provide advantageous Pressure, let's get three. Technically, over access, we have storm side facts. Right, forces including an increase in nearby voltage. And this is on the scope of funding there. The definition of flow, although the spot one way also suffer losses, several practice flow. Further identified all the sources of confidence now that on the where watch other look needed. Any confidence and at the definitive investigation of on analogies in historical grains. This joyous moment recalls the deposition of scores of status that almost exists Europe at the end of the Cold War. In Academy, there are fewer people there to trade. In fact, living exiles that set possible offering now looking for street benefit. By now, organizing activists over the British confiscation class route, Mexico's in the markets and hometown, reach the Canadian MC. Operation Rapid Freedom usually received a head on May 1st, 2003. President Bush, in his speech, an aircraft carrier, published that although the banner refers to the aircraft carrier mission, referring to the full war, which words stress she seems to remain in eternity. Censorship and cash, so takes something. But it is not every effort. Our policy will stay till our work is done. Then we will meet. If we leave behind, free away. By May 2003, 139 US and 33 British troops have been killed. Tracking losses are hard to measure, but estimates that between 11 and 45,000, around 7,000 armaments killed. Forces find no documented reason for training attempts that increase the existing power. But the public view narrative overshadows this failure. Agent 71%. Fractal peace. Coalition of conflict strategy with one and moving conflict in cities. Less British military forces to be able to defend the Donbass settlements, checking crimes of suppression of liberation. People have been policy at prices, problems, that happens. Freedom, free people are free to make mistakes, crime, bad things. Also, free to their lives and fun. That's what happened. For Iraqi civilians, the movie showed the coalition forces are able for unwilling to protect their property, money, or nor on the platform of the return home games. The fact that public city like that should be or like some other place in the profession itself. So everywhere and all things they have to find neighborhood and on the streets live weapons practice all the soldiers advantage that's the things. No darkness became sun, water, everything left. The only different service and action certainly only when this actual bring about human out.
This that being free rights, right? That's not really
There are often enough which truth is secure rather than fear most and thousands of flattering secure. Less has no obligation policy. No self wants with law troops and handle security national security coalition. 2003. A U.S. administrator discovered the exile statement working with the top and properly support claims. He filed British forces in Europe and the army bodies and engines. The government from front, although some American stations filed with Polish troops, spread feet and collapsed, inspection, public organization, skepticism regarding engines. Former drafting army officer, former comment, comments of material policy. Sign the flags and see, orphan, skies, that's something on the streets. That's so helpless in the thought Bible. And who believes there's the same way there. And they have the right now. Bishop wants the organizer to small friend, overseer of the coalition vision authority, 8/12/2003. Everyone developed a qualification policy that is monthly pressures, firms, exiles, and other new farms on systematic and higher not state these. Some U.S. military figures, most conservative or in the state and the extent military that anchor security. Meanwhile, local formation troop numbers between the southern and seas, especially Sweden, for north, are outside of the ship role. These cities, which are generally more close down, see no flights, invasion, and become close to foreign fighters continue to enter across the protected borders. One of the cities would soon show the Iraq War with single far both illusions. New media policies about war were informed by the experience of the Vietnam War, where practical successes of insurgents and big impact of the American home front. On the status of these attacks, it was the rate of the tendency to survive very effectiveness in these events there. One report was attacked and a series of results there in red. And where you watch these results there in grades, on them, the streaming service we're building with other readers, we don't sit through together to be on soft. And it is made and security by students. It's available in 4 papers in the browser, smartphone, smart TV, or streaming offline or both. And that's not all. But Nebula also like all our regular videos and streaming and earlier than on YouTube. You go to that Cypher 73, you find $30 for the entire year. Right now, also getting it with my fund. It was access to everything and has offered for as long as what exists. You look at it that cycling from history, you could say that you practice. Lifetime membership allows us to invest in more original content and a platform for everyone. 1/3 of lifetime membership will also support us.
I don't know if I'm gonna cut up on sleep, but we do. So for the daily log, if I need 10 more sleep, I need to figure out some way to wake the fuck up. Then I work out. So I just need sleep. Sleep was a better idea. Feel a little bit better, still feel very well. Well, hey man, I'm like, I wish I could just sleep normally, just 10 to 6 out, but well, internal clock. I'm still working on it. Obviously, it's going to take practice. It's got to drill it in, but oh man, it's kind of like working out like for the first time or something. I mean, not exactly the same, obviously, but like it takes practice. Oh, yeah, get into the habit. This is like within the first week of me actually trying to keep a 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. sleep schedule. Feeling exhausted, scatterbrained, and irritable as fuck. Then took some time to get some of the worst things that I ever used to think about when I was younger out into the open to figure out ways to prevent those thoughts. Processes to divert and refocus our brain power and how to and also to help others identify negative, short-sighted, and incomplete ways of thinking. I still feel fucking out of it, man. Schedule's all wonky right now, but we're trying to calibrate it to a 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. Calibrating it. So, it's little off right now. So working on adjusting it. You know what I'm saying? Alright. You know. Sorry, I'm ring right off and I'm sleeping all day. That I'm pretty much done with. Went through one of them, it's just kind of seeing like it cramps up your hand. I'm not used to using it, so like your hand cramps up really squeezing it. It's a lot of pressure. So we got, let's see, so I started like from here. See it, white part, got any cracks there. See it, and then so I got all the way up to like 3 feet here. Then I did some in the bedroom, some in the bathroom, just so I know areas where they're coming out of for sure. And then, and I still need to do more, and then definitely gonna need more of it, because there's still cracks everywhere. I really. What's up? Oh, like, yeah, it's pronounced cock, but it's weird because it sounds like a. No, cock, CAULK. It's weird, it's weird sticks, it sounds like it sounds like a word. Yeah, we can do that. Better two eyes than, or better four eyes than two pairs of eyes. So- Thinking like it's metal, so metal can ricochet quite a little bit. especially if you heard it hit off the plastic and it fell off your shoulder, like with the speed and like everything like that, if it ricocheted like a little bit further than you might think. So, yeah, I can help you look for it. Oh, Ito.
We'll begin. We'll check the doors first, okay?
Sounds good.
Is that okay?
Yeah, we can do that. Just
Okay.
wake up in the meantime.
You can. It's for 3, 4, 5, about 2 more hours, and I'll pick you up. Okay. Okay, see you in a little bit, okay? You want to see Sander?
You want to bring Xander? I'm sure Xander might be able to help too. All right. Yeah, bring Xander along now. She doesn't listen to half this shit. It's difficult to have a conversation with my mom, man. Like she has like her own thought process and has like things that she wants to say. And she doesn't really listen to other people. Like she just says what she needs to say, and then as you're talking, she's like, just waiting for her next chance to talk. But she's my mom and I love her to death. So fuck her. There we go. Fuck her. How are you doing?
I'm great. Thank you for asking.
Get more invested in people, like you kind of triggered some brain wiring, where it's like get more motivated and other stuff like that. That's what I'm looking for the motivation. Awesome. Well, like it. Total working, but realizing that's less fault of their own, more fault of my own. With the mentality and stuff like that. Especially adapting, getting better, kind of focus on thinking the right way. Especially when I'm tired. That's mostly it. Like when I'm caught up on sleep, I'm good. But when I'm tired, holy fucking shit, dude. Like it's just like a long. Trying to work on being less like verbally hostile too. I'm never physically hostile. Like physical violence is never something I've had a problem with. That's not something. It's obviously something I've thought about. Like I think a bunch of like fucked up shit. But I've never even been in a fight in my life. So yeah, physical violence isn't something that's like my thing. It's not a thing for me. But it's the whole verbal aggression like really like is kind of off-putting. And I'm trying to limit. So kind of do that training, like kind of remembering like military training. And so basically it's trying to be accustomed to waking up at any hour, being ready. Best way to get ready is to stay ready, you know? And little sleep I'm running off of. I want to be able to know that my thoughts are regulated. Even if I'm running off of fumes and I feel like I'm going crazy or just having these weird feelings or like where my eyes are burning just from lack of sleep, that kind of shit. Just want to be able to know that I may not be like on point, but I'm at least staying within on the right trajectory and not being a total asshole when I'm talking to people. Or maybe even like working on the nonverbal body language and stuff like that, nonverbal communication. Making sure that that's honed in and that I at least have like a baseline that is positive. Take those off. That's too bright. God, it almost feels like I'm like hungover or some shit. I really just no sleep is almost like a similar feeling as being hungover, except when you're hungover, there's even more shit. Like you feel worse in other ways, like the headache, the stomach and stuff. I almost feel hot or like kind of hot and cold flashes, but especially if you drink more, like drinking like the way I used to in my early 20s, man. I need to get to the Omnipod report. saying I was gonna do that tomorrow for like 2 weeks, but I just had other stuff I need to do. Hours that we need to put in. So I will get to that. I assure you. Yes. Yes, quite. Indeed. Sitting and then like what's the one where the pan and china like sit on a pillow on the floor? I don't want to do every once in a while for like just to experience the tradition, you know, but I feel like overall it's like civilized. So being halfway. What's this? For people. See. Shit, you know what? Totally forgot. I didn't make a note of this too, because I've thought about this before. It's barely coming back to me. But if you're in a really bad mood, like you're really, really like feeling really, really fucking shitty, like really angry, really sad, depressed, whatever negative feeling you're just like you're feeling that shit right now. Watch a fucking comedy special. Make yourself laugh. Like if you laugh, Like, and you keep on laughing and stuff like that. I mean, at first it's gonna be like you're gonna be like, I don't want to laugh. I'm like, oh, it's gonna be like, I'm being angry or sad right now. And so like just remind yourself of that. Like it's gonna be weird because you don't want to immediately be like, I mean, because it's weird, you know what I'm talking about, right? Like so if you're like really upset and then like all of a sudden like you start laughing or something like that, or like someone makes you laugh, it's sometimes like you like it's a like you almost expect it to be a gradual shift. You don't expect it to be instantaneous. And so it kind of catches you off guard. And so you start laughing, you start smiling, or something makes you smile, and you're like, oh, don't make me laugh. I'm trying to be angry. I feel like it's kind of like that sometimes, but like just fuck that. Don't like just let it be. Like if you laugh, let yourself laugh and laugh loudly and proudly. If you smile or something like that, fucking like let yourself smile. And like I think it's like the comedy special would be a good go-to because like you got an hour to watch that. And then if that doesn't work out, or even like watch like comedy highlights or something, like go on YouTube and watch like comedy highlights. It gets like straight to the jokes. Uh, but yeah, I think like watch some comedy, dude. Just like straight up jokes. Like something will eventually like make you laugh or at least feel better. And like so even if you're not like laughing out loud and just feeling amazing, like it's kind of a stretch to expect that, but at least right away it's gonna be gradual. But you can at least shift the mentality from like super depressed or distraught or angry or furious about whatever to feeling a little bit better, having all these thoughts. Because even comedy specials, they kind of throw a lot of information at you pretty quick, and so like to be able to like pay attention to it, like forget about the other stuff by paying attention to it, like just to tell somebody like just to forget about like the bad thoughts, like it's obviously easier said than done, and it's like it's kind of a stupid request because like what you really need to tell them to do is like seek out more information, add more information on top of that to compound on top of this thing. It's like that bad thought being so like some ketchup in your glass of water. I'm like, crap, like that water tastes like crap now. So you gotta dump it into the pitcher and then add some more water, maybe add some sugar in there. Um, Throw some pre-workout mix or something in there, some like tropical mix, make it taste a little better. Basically just keep on adding more and more water, which is the other thoughts, other ideas, to dilute that bad thought, ketchup, and make that water taste a little better. You know what I'm saying? Being all metaphorical. Oh, I gotta register LLCs and invest all my money in my conglomerate. Gotta invest money in businesses. Sell some shit. Whole entire list of stuff like that. Oh yeah. Remember? One thing I just thought of last night. Need to draw some blueprints for it, but something relatively easy that I could probably say pretty quick. I need to compile a list of the most things I can probably sell quickest, or just like to start generating more revenue. But I had the bug blender. Is one I thought. It's got a little portable vacuum, but with a little blender inside of it that's purposefully meant to just grind them up and liquefy them. For consolidation of the material, and then for sure knowing that the vacuum's not just sucking it up and then they're coming back out. To know for sure, like yeah, they're done. Like a disposal, little blender, like a blender. Insectoids and arachnids. Those are not words. Arachnids and insects. Weird that I feel like sometimes I have to clarify things, otherwise people kind of misinterpret. Yes, I know what I'm talking about. Just playing around sometimes. Oh. So like an hour, and then we're gonna do some Bible study. Or at least do that, and then just takes time to take it easy. And then we're gonna have to put in 8 hours. I have to readjust my sleep schedule anyway, so work till 3, pass out, just lay in bed and not reply. Three, I never pay attention to that anyway, with my time to, but, these brands when you consider buying from.
Trust is department, not something any of us can assume. It is by far our greatest commodity. It must be earned continuously, and I think it can be lost in a single afternoon. The thinness of trust in the city right now did not start. What would you rather say about that? Step aside. Represent power, people, power designers, power capital, power colonialism. What you are doing in this city is continuing the disgusting nature of colonialism, the disgusting nature of imperialism. It's all within the policies, which means when these police officers come down on the street and they decide that they want to take the life of another brown body, there is no oversight for that. That's imperialism, ladies and gentlemen. This man signed up. It doesn't matter what's talking. The people want to talk. The people want to talk. The people want to talk. Come up here. This is all
and who's with all over this microphone?
It's an incredibly difficult moment for the Madison community. And I understand the very strong emotions that people are feeling. I'm feeling them too. As a city, as a community, as a society, we have to do better. I want to be clear. It does not matter who you are or what your past is. You should not lose your life as a result of an encounter with law enforcement. This officer-involved shooting must be rigorously investigated, and it will be. The process has already started with the Department of Criminal Investigation, but that's just the first step. The DA will play a role, as will the independent monitor and the police civilian oversight. Our community deserves full transparency and accountability. It's really understandable that people want answers right now. I want them to. But the honest truth is that good investigations take time. We have to let the investigation play out. But believe me, anything that we can do on the city side to hasten that, we will.
Corey could have been my brother because my brother is homeless. He often rides a bike when we meet up by the beacon, and Corey could have been a Charles. But speaking of Corey specifically, Corey has a family who loves him. I believe Corey has a child. Corey is a human being. My first thought is when the officer is walking away, why isn't he walking away in cuffs? That's my first thought. Because I'm looking at a Corey who can be a Charles, who can be a Clyde, who can be my son, and I'm angry. There's like no way around it. And while we know that there are investigations and all of that, the thing for me is that his death is fine.
Also take away their guns. So they learn how to use those properly too. I mean, actually just take them fucking away, they don't need guns, but replacing alternatives. Obviously, we need the alternatives first, and I know that people are gonna be like, well, what the fuck are we supposed to do? Are we supposed to protect ourselves? And so, yeah, so keep on providing more alternatives like technology, shielding. Cops are not qualified to use weapons for correctly. They're doing to say like I'm just doing my job. It's a horrible fucking job. Enforcing fascism. You got a bunch of fucking Nazis. Not exactly Nazis, like I'm saying that's a bit of a hyperbole, but at the same time it's a little more accurate to say fascist and temporarily company qualified to make a decision whether to take a life. So you need to take what it means to do that. Or indeed research and development. So then we move forward. Take a little time because certain people are short-sighted and simple-minded, really sticking to their guns. But what was I gonna say is that they're just stuck in their ways, and it's gonna take a little bit of convince people. Again, we need evidence, proof, arguments, and we need alternatives. Those things aren't gonna change. We're so backwards in the way of thinking, especially officers. Ops, they just stick to these rules, stick to this ideology that they're told by other people. And they're saying like they're just doing their jobs, like the other fucking one. Ops that are not qualified for the fucking thing. Every time I see a cop, I'm just like, I just want to go. It's fucking. It's not that big, fucking bitch. you couldn't do something real with your life, so you end up just sort of putting on a badge and making yourself feel powerful and strong and like you're part of something bigger. So it's a fucking shit job. You're fucking. You chose to be a fucking cop. You're goddamn cops. You're a fucking idiot, dude. Take off that fucking bird badge, melt it down, and be like, fuck this. So like I said, anybody from June 13th, was it Friday? I think it was Friday.
Breaking news at
June 13th, June 13th, 2026 and onwards.
No.
Anybody who is an officer or law enforcement or part of the judicial system, they will be penalized. So we're going to be for diplomatic solutions, but they will pay their dues because they're enforcing fascism. They're going on record. So I'm adding up charges right now. Then adding up charges, but anybody who's law enforcement, June 13th, 2026 and onwards will be penalized.
Thanks for being this here on Live Now from Fox. I'm your host, Christina Evans. Let's continue on with this week's top stories. Speaking live right now is Texas Governor Greg Abbott. He is holding
It's not it's summer offensive josh. You're picking on it. You're one holy two right everything that was by the other. Protesters in Madison, Wisconsin are calling for justice after a man was shot and killed by police a couple of days ago. We're warned that the video of this may be hard to watch. It shows the moments leading up to the Madison police officer shooting 38-year-old Corey Ruiz. Madison police, here it is, say they were responding to reports that the man was checking parked cars when the guy fled on a bike. You can see them, or they say Ruiz pulled a knife. Officers attempt to use tasers. There's an image of the knife. When the tasers did not work, an officer then opened fire. The 4 officers involved are on administrative leave this morning, and the investigation, of course, is ongoing.
Alternative. Don't just keep on doing your job, looking to find better ways of doing it.
Horrifying video cap. Horrifying video captured the moment a Wisconsin police officer fatally shot a man who authorities say knifed him while resisting arrest. The chilling cell phone video from bystander Michael Dubek starts off by showing 3 cops wrestling with the suspect in the middle of the intersection of Madison. As the man starts to see firearms 3 times at the suspect. No, in the background.
Simple solutions, man. You guys just don't invest time and effort thought into trying to find better solutions. I don't like using the R word, but it's very applicable to you. Enforcement, you guys are fucking retards. Fix your shit. To do it yourself, because you guys are confident as possible to do it for you.
So other video that was part of this investigation. Cops have been responding to calls that someone was trying to enter parked cars in the neighborhood. Patterson said the suspect fled on a bike through nearby backyards in an attempt to get away. Officers intercepted him in the street. During a brief scuffle, cops say the man then pulled out a knife and injured the same police officer who later shot the suspect. The officer, who was described as a veteran cop, has yet to be publicly identified. The suspect was identified as ex-con Corey Ruiz, who later died at a local hospital. Sparked fury in Madison, with protesters taking to the streets, as well as the site of the shooting.
The tornado destroyed the farms, so I contacted travelers.
You can't wait. Hi. We bring you quality furniture and outstanding values. That's why we work tirelessly to find the right factory partners to help reduce see what's the prices you love. Our latest selections include dining set, whose most good starting at one. Particularly. We also have a coordinating hockey tables, TV sets.
So quick, I've already got an idea. The 4 on pay, basically having a magnetic sort of mashing through that, so you take the blade and like, so you have it thick enough, so you have something and it takes the blade and basically hold it in place so you can't pull it back out. It's also deep enough, so kind of thick enough like this. So you can even have a gap there too, where it's like multiple layer, kind of like a whipple, sort of like a whipple shield deal. Have it in there, that goes in, stays in there, they can't pull it out. Let's find another means of taking it. One of many options, but it's not that fucking hard. It's like take a little bit of the, put a little bit of thought into it. Brains. Unfortunately, you can't think for yourselves. Like I said, you're fucking sheep. You're just fucking pawns. Like you have no mind of your own, and so you just end up propagating and perpetuating your, pushing forward a bunch of bullshit, doing more harm in the world than good. Officers fucking suck. Less of them, they need to replace AI drone technologies. Much more competent. Humans are not qualified to enforce the law. So, we support all compromise for now. No control.
John, I'm just thinking, his concert at Madison Square Garden, it was on his condition.
You don't know how to use your toys, daddy's gonna come through, take your fucking toys, because you little fucking children don't know how to fucking use them. You're an officer, if you know somebody that's an officer, you gotta tell them and let them know. One thing that you gotta I have to make abundantly clear that you should know is that if you're an officer of the law right now, anywhere from, like I said, I mean, it's been before, but marking and date just to be able to rack up charges against anybody who still wears a badge or enforces the law or whatever. And basically what you got to know is that you do not fight for justice. To make it very clear, you do not fight for justice. You fight for oppression. Like you're fighting on behalf of other people who make these laws in order to help themselves at the expense of the many, and you call it justice because they keep on slapping that fucking name on it, but you can say it a million times, doesn't make it true. They keep on saying that, and so they believe it. And like I said, cops, they don't have minds of their own. Like they're fucking idiots. The reason they became cops is because they weren't good enough to do anything else. So yeah, just make it very abundantly clear. One, you guys are fucking morons, and I'm not saying that you don't have hope. Like you can change. Just fucking educate yourself more. Like get more information. Like I always say, like get more information so you can, you know, offset anything that you can be like wholeheartedly believing what you're doing is right, telling is fucking wrong, but at the same time, like I'm finding other ways of showing that to you. Again, we have plenty of notes. We get into that. I have different arguments and everything like that. So I have a variety or very, I keep on using abundance. But I have a plethora of notes. Just even for paladin security, I have at least a couple hundred there. Maybe I have under paladin. Want to save lives, we might want to start pushing these forward a little bit quicker. Oh, okay, I got 25 under paladin. I don't know, still. Maybe having more. Well, I have more notes too. Even then, I'd probably be like more like maybe 30, maybe 40. Just spread out through the notes. Oh shit, I have the whole entire binder. That's what a lot of them are gonna be. That's more for inventions. So like a lot of these are well, actually no, paladin is specifically kind of tech and different gadgets and different things that are able to help with law enforcement and actually enforcing laws in a non-lethal way and a more responsible way. And then we have Neo Bushido to be able to tackle the actual judicial system. Officers are just fucking pawns. They're just gonna be able to, they're just be enforcing whatever laws other people throw at them. They're gonna be getting paid or patted on the back and indoctrinated to believe that those laws are what they need to be enforcing, but they're just easy to manipulate because officers can't think for themselves. Do and they feel good doing that, just following the rest of the flock. It's like a bunch of cows being herded and it's a bunch of like fucking dogs, like well-trained dogs that just do whatever their owners say and really don't have the capacity to really interpret what's really going on. It's very simple-minded. And I know there's people like that out there, so we got to put up with them. Or like this, we got to find ways of reforming them. We got to find ways of rectifying their behavior and changing them. Ideally, trying to educate them and make them smarter, but dumb people are really the hardest to try to convince of something because they'll know enough to think they're right, but not know enough to know they're wrong. And they're going to have like this limited like set of knowledge, and they don't like. It's difficult to work with them because their brains don't have the capacity to understand all these complex thoughts and like see the whole picture a lot of times. And so you got to just find ways to redirect that limited thinking towards something better. Like some people aren't able to think, have the capacity to think in a sophisticated way. And that's officers, just a bunch of rabid fucking dogs. That's why people like me, we got you. We're gonna correct you. We'll make sure that you guys aren't able to fuck other people over anymore just because you think you're doing the right thing. Just definitely not going the right way about it. It's just being fucking dumbasses, dude. Rule number 2 of life, don't be a dumbass. Don't be a cop. If you're a cop, you're breaking rule number 2 and rule number 1. Kind of rule number 3 in the sense that you're being a pussy, like not looking for ways of making things better, just being complacent and lazy. And you're just accepting things for the way they are and being told what to do rather than taking initiative to think freely and make your own decisions and being able to think independently and, you know, right thing and actually stand up for true justice instead of just being told that it's justice and that you're doing your job and flash that badge around. You just end up fucking people over. Yeah, so if you're a cop again, so kind of breaking rule number 3, you're definitely breaking rule number 2. You're being a fucking dumbass, and then breaking rule number 1, or you're just being an asshole. You carrying and trying to flaunt your authority around, thinking you're hot shit. When like, realistically, we all know, like anybody smart enough to realize it, it's going to realize that the only reason you're a cop, like I said, you're not qualified to do anything else. You're not smart enough, you're not good enough to really do the important things. And so you just get stuck in this position. And so people try to make you feel good, like, yeah, you're doing so good. If you were a cop, my best advice is to burn that badge, melt it down, or burn your uniform, melt down your badge, throw away your fucking gun. I would recommend melting it down. Don't throw it away or somebody else might pick it up. But it's basically renounce being a cop. Come out with a public apology, and I'll give people a year until June 13th, 2027. I'll give people the chance to submit a public apology. But after June 13th, 2027, then after that, there's no slack. We're gonna have to implement punishment. Be a wake-up call, man. People are gonna have to be held accountable. If you're endorsing and supporting fascism, that's not something that real Americans do. And so we need to correct that. Piece of advice, if you're an officer of the law, quit. Do something else, do something better, do something, look into yourself, find your inner potential, you know, be able to be smart enough to think of something better to do. Or at least if you want to use your position to create some technologies, and obviously it's going to be documented, so you should be fine. Like, won't be charged as much if you do that. But I would recommend just completely leaving law enforcement and then find something better to do. Being able to apply your time much more wisely and much more effectively, and genuinely doing the right thing instead of like, is being a cop not the right thing? Like, it's not the right thing to do. Much worse place for a lot of people. I'm willing to be a lot more lenient if, one, you're working in the force, genuinely looking for alternatives and ways to find non-lethal means of enforcing the law, and then also if you take the time, or if you're adamantly or avidly trying to, geez, I am still waking the fuck up. Come on, brain, let's go. We're not asleep right now. We got to work. So if you're actively trying to find alternatives, one, you might get a little leniency, but you're still in law enforcement, so still going to be penalized for that. Or two, just fucking quit the force. And I'm not saying don't do anything. Obviously, do something better. Take initiative and do something better than that. It's like, I want people to be better than that. I want you to be able to see your true potential, be able to see that what you're doing right now is fucking wrong, that it needs to change. care how simple-minded and dumb you are. Like, it really doesn't matter. Like, whatever lack of intelligence you have, I'm warning people right now. They will be held accountable if you are an officer of the law, anything involved with law enforcement or the judicial system, you will receive penalties. There will be punishment. The day of reckoning will come. You will be judged, and you will be judged accordingly. You must be held accountable. That is going to happen. I've already made a, I feel like I've made a like official declaration before, but if you haven't heard it before, if I didn't make it official, there it is. Like, it is going to happen. No matter what anybody says, no matter what anybody does, officers of the law, anybody pertaining to law enforcement or judicial system, you're promoting fascism. You're oppressing the people, and you will be held accountable. That is a promise. Let's use my time to stop watching it. Shit real. Say it in a way that you can understand. Like, as furious with the cops as I am, like I pity them. I realize how ignorant they are to stuck in old anachronistic ways and simple-minded, just sticking to that. Even for cops, because so I'll say even for cops, maybe we'll try to offer an alternative for you. We'll try to say you can't think for yourselves. We'll offer some options. I'll work on that. I'm the one that thinks. I'm the one that innovates. So I'll try my best to get you. But you got to meet me halfway, then. Help me, guys. All right, what's your comments, Mitchell? Take off the rest. Sure. So, 7 to 3. It's like long and boring, so it's like a wannabe solo or something.
Waiting for you to finish.
It's all you need here. You said we were supposed to work. You still did. Here, we're still here. Can't you guys see this for what it is? All of those pictures of alien beer in a garden, a beer garden. There's no chance I'm hearing this. This is one movie I will never watch as good as it gets. It is.
That's you ever even have to say you can't this time.
I can't believe you're making me pause to talk this much. Guys, this is where sentient speaks. This is not being chased and not chasing. This is what spiritual types call, Vishnu's titty. Electronic gobble.
Is that actually
Here.
we're happy, I guess.
So much years.
Yeah, everything you eat is designed to expand.
Good point, some. Let's get bigger fun, some.
Right when I was switching.
Did we drop here right now?
The key to his keys. Not
Why didn't bother driving anywhere? Morning. Get back over here. Or what? What for what? Well, what are you gonna do? Do what you say? Travel, Hitler, the smartest living thing. Base unit theater. What's gonna happen to me if I have used to
this place sells anybody work. I'd love to have dinner shade. Oh, stupid. Thanks. Sorry, detective. I barely touched you. Initiating self-destruct. This body has nuclear devices. Please retreat to range of 14. Bitch, they can't make me run one way.
not my fault.
How do I disable self-destruct?
Just getting total self-destruct. Hey, I'm tampering. The deal over the piano for research the
Clear dust. Time zone. No self-destruct. Almost. You.
Don't relax yet. You're in the wrong place to tell nothing right now.
Get Morty the phone. Morty! No, that's my bad. He's laughing. Rubber band spread too. We might actually be fun.
Yeah, it's my guy said sit tight. I'll have Morty drop the pin. Morty hang out so you can drop the pin. Woo! You think Beanie servers you? And maybe I'll still switch air on that ooh just now. Maybe we gotta fix this ticking clock.
Those little balls. Let's see what other settings you have.
Don't be gross. Come on, let's kill our steal.
You make that? Hey!
Yeah. You're a great medicine cabinet. Beaten with liver brain. No, I'm just not my fill. This is the one. Is healthcare always this slow? I can fix healthcare. I'm gonna fix this right now. Wait. You understand what's the issues? Really? Some things? What's wrong? You stood for it. To me. Is that bad? You're gonna be off my head! Not anymore! Lisa, they're different. Well, I got surgery, but I also. Stay right here. The things for nothing, Morty. Now we're in trouble. You insane? We just need to get to summer! Look at that nosy hair looking shit. They come here, hospital security. Oh, fuck! You come here, hospital security. Morty, get out the window! Morty, out the window now! Go! Don't worry, the window! It's not that! Taxi! Morty! Where's Grandpa Emma? I'm not your grandpa, Morty. I'm your grandpa's dad. What's the difference? I didn't know there was one. It's only been an hour, and let me tell you, it is crazy having no chance. Oh, and the opposite of Bruce. Total clarity. Like my bags were saying, you don't fix the clock at all. You know what pretty soon, Morty. Everyone's going to die. And even summer will be extra fucking tricky. Small child. There is a reward. Reward. I don't know. I can't see shit from down here.
Are you sure? Remember, that means you said we could lay low here. You got his head chopped off. Isn't it still alive, I guess? I don't want to know this. You're not a stomach there? Sorry, we didn't know where you're taking it. Speakers interrogate too many make this thing less useless. It's okay. You can't see or hear me right now, can you? You know,
On infrared, everything used to be. You have to get that. It's a really much guilty. So I start as I mean, you sorry, release your head. There you go, Morty. It's for pointing ahead. What do you do? What? You got the more than four brain. You need your future.
just checking. Seth, you still laying low? She's sexist. Did you literally just tell us out of the time of me leaving this room and coming back?
This thing is real. It's real. Sexism.
Boo.
You think you know it.
Reason I'm easy to take sweet from the email. I guess you do keep the score. Did we just get on a train that took us back to where we started? I guess it makes sense if you have no sense of direction. Exactly.
It's what fall. Being a kind of future ass when it looks like that. You know what? Don't get me. We are quiet. Let's get going. Go.
People do something like that. Whoa.
What I am using for fun. I am not needing to stage work. If we survive this, we are very vulnerable to both right now. Hold on. I'm trying to. Amy, man. Amy. It's so much violence. It's no for being rewarding. Say my word, Mike. Check this out. Oh, a mistake? Wow, talk about a departmental scandal. Come on, guys, I guess it's a different candidate. It's scary. But that way, come on, get it right. It's too like that. Yeah, it's 5 days. Space for 2. First class. Wednesday, I'm 40. It's not real. I can be whatever my family needs. Everyone said tonight was. It's amazing. Why do we tears, Morty? In decades, I wanted to be as incredible.
Anything to drink before we land?
I'm pretty nice. Wow! Used to be a creepy alcoholic. I'm Morty.
Looks like they're fun sometime. What's this? Hello, Summer. This is for August. I overthink. My head gets in the way of telling you I love you. But I'm all heart right now, so you're amazing. Take a gap year in Europe. Believe in yourself. Your parents are stupid.
Here they are. Well, 5 minutes ahead. It was fun getting to carry you around like this. It was nice putting our heads together, Morty. 8 plus teaming. Dissociative taste.
Yes. Yes, each one is so happy on their own. You guys had a great day too.
Yes.
Shit.
How sorry is in a couple hours of Rick's body now wants to kill us?
Treats his body like shit. I can't believe you gave it weapons. Obviously, Rick's brain wouldn't want to.
You want his body now? I don't think you got plenty of something. Grace. Where are you? We're trying to kill each other. Oh, good. Marty, seriously. Thanks you got
Rick, you're not yourself.
Summer, she's a fucking body. No, you're right.
There you go.
I tell mom we lost grandpa. Maybe no one actually realize they won't meet each other. And you're right blocking me as I say it. Okay, so this is how he dies.
Rachel?
Hello, shop's closed. Oh, Rick?
Rachel! I just got this cool task I'm going to jam on. We need a special body. No alcoholism, just 100%. Hey, what? So there was something here? You can't destroy the friendship.
Yeah, well, you're thinking.
We could have had 10 years of chemical building one day.
To be clear, it does ruin everything I had. It wasn't. Sam, now it's over. Honestly, I kind of need both of you to leave.
You just being giant.
Hi, Morty. I'm calling because, well, going semi-related to that. I need you to.
Bloody idiots. You always fuck everything up. Drinking, selling relationships, eating like that first. Now, I'm gonna be free of you forever. Okay, I'm gonna see you handsome out that you're gonna be free of me forever. What a retort, a flutter. We have been trying for years.
Just morning.
Not on little man, I'm gonna kill you. Don't want to do that.
Should we check in?
Just while they're hashing it out. It's we agreed to become one Rick again. How about that?
Oh, bro.
Anyways, Karen, thank you both enough for today. Really appreciate you helping out.
Did I just go down date in there?
Didn't guess that.
Did you do that? Yeah, buddy. Your thing about, can we leave the plastic refinery destroyed?
Tuesday.
Just hope you learn to treat yourself better.
Me too.
Me too?
You control whether you learn something or not. I know I do. I did. This sounds like classic morning after something folks on, but I think I've tried a new thing here. I'm one body or out of sync, which blames the other for my bullshit. So I'll do something healthy for always. Cemetery, Experience changed me, man. I didn't see what I was doing.
Think this much.
No! Why are you doing this?
Will you feel this? I'm so tired.
Please. See, you just need to learn how satisfying it is for really hard for something.
Is that a takeaway?
It scares me. What are you guys gonna do now? Um,
You're only supposed to bite your tongue when it's cold. Crazy.
We could just punch each other.
Ugh.
January.
I'm 12 years old. We were little babies. I'm Zendaya. I play Rue, and you're.
Why sees tumbled? It's a market to Jersey to rainfire on a seat that raised my man.
I process you up there in the city.
Just so, postal place look for any seditious markings and find those responsible.
We did us a favor by the time we got slammed right around.
What do you hear? Here's my friend. I'm going to give you a success. Give me the chance to better himself.
Bruce.
Are you not betrayed your queen? Who is he?
I'm Sir George's. Our soldiers need to be paid, us to be paid.
City which trusts you will contribute to be patient. In addition to this fair and one, I will grant Harry the innocence and let Geoffrey be brought back from the dead.
See, say,
When you learn when you're to King's Landing, he is straight.
to King's Landing. Our system. There isn't even home for
Our task is to keep the rest scum from reaching King's Landing.
this centipedes times. It seems by the end we must join us. You must be king. And now we begin. What do you think again? We will have to take a long way around. The criminal board is today. The human bias was trying to the past. I'm wrong. But about us, like fucking deal wise. Another thing that we do not do at all. That's it, and post by. The crystal collide lost enjoy noble sound. It looks my lord and me on the hunt, and we will break it down. Or we can play his game.
In a horrible sense that rightful queen and Angus are bounty. We won't find your quarry here. There's an old man who turns the horses. And then others. You do not learn the history of this place. And the laborers who built it. You died here. In chains. In service to her and the crew. This castle breathes. She swallows the greedy, the heedless. Her founding stones were watered with the blood of men. She's always thirsty.
Oh, you bloody courier! Fuck this place! Space is on fire! I saw him with clutching people, dragging me down into the dark.
Again. That's all. It's just a thing.
Darling, I remember that face.
One of the deal.
I might have to say about salaries. It is a matter of some deaths. I'm not certain how familiar you are with the series of the female persuasion.
Must thank you again for your loyalty. That makes sense.
I flatter myself as being how I've ever been a faithful servant to you.
More than that, you've been a brain.
Looking at now me. I've made myself understand smoothly. I fear I can no longer offer you assistance after today without making the promises.
Hey boy, do you see? Everyone's around to drop for you. Sorry, Lyra herself. She'll kill it. She'll have no choice. Or if she does not, she will take it from you. Amy still lives, as far as we know.
Is that her?
No, he was there, but he's fled and vanished.
I've seen him. He burns, but without fire.
If Emma threatens William's rule, she would use the child as her shield.
I can't do it.
Elena, please, please. For your own sake, you wish to be free.
I can't.
Think of it. It's a company. Nothing more.
But it isn't.
No, it's not. Listen to me. It isn't this. It is a remedy. Talk to the Masons, sit down. Grace, everyone, it is Lyra herself. When she was young, able to live here too. Elena, please, listen to me. Will you bear a child who will never more than a hostage or a pawn?
It's mine! It's my own! It's mine!
It is on the council that suffices recompense for Housebread's loyalty. A terrible Mussolini recompense. Payment for giving your principles passage across the twixt. Prince, my brother's son. My son is dead. Now I discover that you have pledged our castle as a trophy, free to any ancient knight who can bring you again and even to the period. So explained for the treatment, and we expect the crown's word to be ended. No matter some Robbie Sellsword has dumped himself Lord of Heaven Water meanwhile.
Be pleased to join your Grace's council.
Blendish Town. Not Blendish Town itself, Your Grace, but a small village of the outskirts. There were several farms burned, and the men we talked to were certain Spain grass.
Good day. In the
So it's something a farm to what end?
Dragons need to eat. The bare fugitives will root them out soon enough. There was a skirmish last night at Blackgate. Horses were required to spare. If any of the Nathan Sari the promised bread and neighbor was a stew.
Or but in children and any work of restraint, pursuing the pettiest of crime. Look at the aim of it.
One of our folk clubs were found dead in the street this morning. But to the blame by an unknown hand.
This
Flea bottle.
should have been known to himself. Quite indelible. Unsolved.
Okay. Well, woman. Into something from these questions.
If you were not burned in, as to that, there is fresh news in Tully's camp. March has been slowed by interference from Sir Christian Cole and his men. River crossings are being burned before the army can reach.
Go back to the. What's his name? His part. His part.
If I may, from Grace, we arrived back only this morning. Lady Baker's not much less slow.
I am not committed to plan. But service if your eyes are really restitute. Lord Damon.
I will go once I have dealt with this business in the city. Our fallen soldiers and accountable must be made. Do you know what you think?
Your Grace, the loss to us is what is a crime, to be sure, but so is the innocent. It is not a matter for the crown.
And there's men now to secure. Especially since they're waiting.
Your Grace.
Is it always like this?
Hey. Why is the this with the dragons? The live versus again complete.
On the contrary, that pledge to fulfill command just later.
Yes, what does it make of me if you will obey me only to time and place of your own choosing?
You are the queen. I act in your interest.
Good. My interest is Vega.
Mine too. We're going to tell him both. Emily's friend. His friend wants to move before you. We are in no danger.
There is treachery somewhere, and I seek to uncover it.
What you seek is revenge. Of course, no. I don't grudge you that, but revenge should wait. At this moment, there is a disturbance in your city and you, yourself, until the cause.
I didn't ask Philip to be brutal.
You need not fuss in anything at all. Will you let yourself be frightened by fractured toys by the painting of stripes on tabby walls?
That was the answer to my sons. A challenge to my very legitimacy.
Strength is your legitimacy.
Your Grace. Glad news. Young Prince Joffrey has returned this hour from the Vale.
When I'm able. True story.
Long past the Nightingale.
I don't care. Which way is west?
No idea. They say, Your Grace,
I'm not going back.
you have nowhere else to go.
You heard what I did. Vegar's been sighted at Wendish House.
2 days ago.
Harrenhal then. Someone there will know something. Or Simon can pick up his trail.
Leads to Harrenhal, Your Grace, and the fields and woods are teeming with rivermen. This morning, I fought. It's dangerous.
Alright, meantime, this is